This is week 2 of session 2, and we are jumping into team creation, project creation, etc., etc. So let's take a look at this. First off, we're going to start with the IB students. They have a rough script due today, the 27th. That's the day I'm making this video. And they can see the other things that they've got going on. They are going to be making a journal for the week as well as everybody else. So let's go into that. So if I go to film class, this is going to be typical for all the classes. So some classes voted for the top pitches last week. Some did not. We're going to be doing that today. Just a reminder, we vote for the top ideas. Then we take those top vote getters and have them build teams around their ideas. So the idea is where you get to vote what you think are the best ideas from students. Then we take those students and then the students, get to build teams around their ideas. Kind of like the NFL draft. So again, we're trying to promote good ideas, promote people who are organized, promote people who take the stuff seriously, and give them the control, the power, etc., to build the teams because they've earned the right to do that. And not saying that your idea, if it doesn't get selected, is not a good idea. It's just that we need a way to build teams, and this is a way we've been working with for a while, and it works pretty well. So if we look at the other assignments, we're going to start on Monday creating our weekly journal. So you have a 1-point assignment due today for creating that. You're going to finish it at the end of the week. And it did not go so well for a lot of students last week, so I've cleaned some things up. I've modified some things, and we're breaking it down to 2 things. One, you get a point for starting it and get 4 points for filling out the whole thing completely throughout the week. This is not an assignment you can make up because we're measuring on-time activity, punctuality. Did you do what you were supposed to that day? So it's kind of pointless to try to make it up after the fact. So I will remind you of this every day. And again, I've changed some things to make it better this week for those who are paying attention. Now, if you're not paying attention, well, I can't help you with that, but I hope you are. Middle of the week, we're going to talk about getting things done, your trusted system, and I have some activities because this is going to be super supportive to the teaming we do in this class. We've been talking about this for over a month, but we're actually going to do the work on Wednesday, and I'm going to take you through an activity with that. And so let's take a look at this. So the voting, just a reminder, you have a survey here with all your names, and you can then put down the top 3 things. So who is best organized, who had best pitch, which is most feasible, just to remind you about that. So that was either done last week or it's going to be done today. Then creating the blog post for the journal. Right here, you have the template. You'll copy and paste that in. You're going to title it properly and so on and so forth. And you need all 4 of these things to be true to earn the point today. And it is today only. Obviously, if you're sick, you'll get 1 more day, but I will be checking that today to make sure that you've set a goal and established your journal for the week today. Then, middle of the week, we'll talk about getting things done, and we need a system that does all 5 of these things. And I've talked about this before. I've shown you this image before. So the idea is I have a whole bunch of examples on how people get stuff out of their head into a trusted system so they can do one thing at a time. And if I were to pick one thing that can help you be less stressed out and more productive, it's this particular behavior. James Clear talks about this in Atomic Habits. Atomic Habits was titled because you want the smallest thing that you can do that can develop continuity, momentum, flow state. And so you build small tasks and you start doing those things. Now, as I'm scrolling through this, you'll see all the materials here. You are going to have a half sheet. Let me open this up. I will give you in class for you to assess and have a point structure on the back, but you'll see this. It's in the assignment as well. Then at the end of the week, you will finish up your journal, and this is just a reminder of the stuff we do. So the first assignment, when you create it, the how section just has you remember that you want to go in here and fill things in every day, copy and paste my blog template, title it properly, fill in the session, the week, the goal for the week, etc. I've already put the session number and the week number in there. You're welcome. So what's your goal? And it needs to be detailed, and it needs to be something that's going to push you. Okay, so clear, specific, something that's going to push you, challenge you, and so on and so forth. Make sure you publish the blog post today so that it's there, and then the autosave starts working. Okay, now later in the week, when we come back to it, it starts off with the how. that you're remembering to do these things each day. And let's jump back in here. Publishing, you're doing the daily stuff. And these are examples you could look at. And you want to make sure that you do these things. So I know you can read the words. So you've seen this project before. You will self-assess at the end of the week. How well did you do? Our 4-point conversion thing is here. And our standards that we're addressing with this whole big, wonderful project is at the bottom of the document. All right, moving on. This is what the blog template looks like for the weekly journal. And I've modified the directions at the top a little bit to make sense. And again, reminder, this assignment cannot be made up. I'm repeating this because, again, people need to be documenting each day. At the beginning of class, I'm going to have you open up your journal, make sure that you have it ready to go. Then you're going to set your goal for the day, work toward that goal. When you're done, you can then write into the journal. Let's go down here. What did you do? So at the beginning of the class period, what are you hoping to work on? At the end of the class period, how much time roughly do you feel you spent on that? And then was it a best practice? Now, best practices are something that industry people say that you should be doing. So when you're not sure what you should be doing, you can take a look at this list and look at the 21st century skills in particular. And for game design, we have some more specifics. What should you be doing? Take a look at that list if you're not sure. And then write down, was it a best practice? Yes. What was it? And then specifically, what was it related to what you were doing here? That level of of being specific, I can't say that word very well, is what you need. And then down here, you need to write a detailed reflection at the end of the week. Did you achieve your weekly goal? What was the biggest issue or problems you overcame this week? How did you overcome this issue or these issues or problems? Okay, be specific. When you reflect, what it happens, you know what that is? That's a Pomodoro timer. I had a timer set and I did not quite get there. So use Pomodoro timers because they're really powerful. And when you have to get stuff done, remember, if I go back here, it's pomofocus.io, or if you search Pomodoro, you can find this timer. And when you hit start, it sets a time frame for you to work. And then when it's done, it'll give you a short break. So you start the short break. When that's done, you go back to do another 25-minute session. And you go do back and forth like this. And then after you've done it a few times, then you take a longer break. Now, the point of the breaks is to get off the computer or stop what you're doing, do something different, get something to drink, walk around, think deep thoughts, whatever. But then when you're locked in here, you're focused. Your phone is not near you. Distractions are minimized as much as possible. All right, speaking of that, let's go back to this. So you want to make sure that you reflect, because what happens, the brain tends to focus on the negative. We kind of default to negative thoughts about ourselves and what happened and so on. And we have to work to get the brain to kind of go, what was important this week? And what do I need to remember? What do I need to relive? So when you focus on things, successes, struggles you did that you overcame, it starts to train the brain to pay more attention to that, and it helps you overall. Pretty cool stuff. Okay, now lastly, on Wednesday when we do our Getting Things Done, or GTD, trusted systems, the reason why it's called a trusted system is that you trust it to help you remember to get things done when you need to do them. So a trusted system has to have some kind of time management or scheduling thing in there. Now, what you need to do is visit your trusted system daily. Take a look at what's coming up. And so, and that could be in the morning, it could be after school. But the idea is like, what do I have coming at me? What do I need to be thinking about? And so on and so forth. And so I don't have any samples yet because the ones we've done in the past don't quite fit what we're doing now. I'm going to explain some stuff about how the brain works and other things. We're going to do a little test about multitasking in class. I think you're going to like, as in it's going to show the limitations of multitasking. And you don't have to think about it. You're going to experience it. So you're going to be doing a screenshot. I want to actually see your system. I don't care about the specific contents. That's yours. But what tool are you using, or tools? In Command-Shift-4 on the Mac, you can then drag over the area you want to take a picture. It takes a picture of it, puts it on the desktop. Then you can drag and drop that or place that into your blog post so we can see it. And I want to know how your system does these 5 things. Okay, so just write a complete sentence for each one of those. And yeah, so this shouldn't be too hard. And again, we're going to do that on Wednesday. Okay, this is a longer video. So I'm done. And welcome to week 2 of session 2. It's going to be a good one. Oh, and it's Halloween on Friday, which is my birthday. So say happy birthday to me on Friday. So anybody who watches this video all the way to the end, tell me you watched it all the way to the end, and you'll be the only one, and I'll high five you.